Alright, legends, welcome back. You crushed the like goal again. So here we are with part 9 of our story. I'm thrilled you're all hooked, and believe me, the best is still ahead. If you're hungry for part 10 today, let's smash 2,000 likes on this one. You know the deal. Your support keeps this going. Now let's jump right back in. We see our hero, Ingrid, standing face to face with the assassin. "Who are you?" the killer asked. "Who are you, really?" Ingrid replied. "That's none of your business. Now I've got a question for you. How many daggers do you still have left?" The assassin thought to himself, wait, he knows how to throw knives? Could he be an assassin too? He said aloud too. Ingrid nodded. I'm starting to feel a little jealous. I've only got one. The assassin snapped. "Are you insane? Don't you know if you lose, that's it?" Ingrid calmly replied. "First of all, no, but that's not something we'll know until the fight is over." Ingrid thought to himself, no matter how well he hides his hands, he can't conceal all the movements of his arms, evading while keeping the whole enemy's body in view. That's the essence of throwing techniques, and he sharpened his focus on the assassin. The killer readied his whistling daggers, twirling them fast and with deadly precision. Ingrid counted softly. The assassin flung both daggers. Ingrid blocked the first and dodged the second. Then he launched one of his own, but the assassin dodged it with ease. Ingrid thought, of course, he must have more. He's a liar after all. Ingrid pulled out the whistling dagger he'd crafted himself and prepared to strike back. The assassin was shocked. He made one himself. He barely managed to dodge Ingrid's dagger. "You sneaky little freak," the assassin shouted, drawing his sword. Ingrid replied, "We both lied," then thought that weapon. I've never seen anything like it before. Just because he's a hired killer doesn't mean he's skilled in long-range attacks alone. His stance is odd, his movements are fast. He's about to use a new technique. Whether it lands or not doesn't matter now. The assassin lunged with blinding speed, but Ingrid grabbed his wrist mid-strike. The killer froze, shocked. Ingrid said calmly, "This is where your obstacle ends." With one powerful slash, he split the assassin's head open. The killer collapsed. Ingrid thought to himself, the will to keep going. Every time I faced this wall, I lost. I learned. I grew stronger. Until I won. It's insanely thrilling. He looked down at the fallen killer, then searched his clothes and found a stash of whistling daggers. Very nice ones. Back with his commander, she asked, "You were almost assassinated. Did you expect that? You left your post." Ingrid replied, "No, it was just a coincidence." She looked at him. Coincidence? Facing 4 enemies and coming away with just a few scratches. Ingrid shrugged. "Guess Lady Luck was on my side." She stared at him suspiciously, then said, "Fine, go back." He thanked her and turned away. He returned to his squad, and as soon as he opened the door to their room, a battle axe came flying toward him. But Ingrid dodged it just in time. Reem laughed. "Oh, you managed to dodge the ambush." Ingrid glared. "You maniac, Reem. You almost split my head open." Reem shrugged. "Come on, now that assassins are targeting us, you need to stay sharp." Ingrid scoffed. "Then take this," and tossed him a heated stone. Reem caught it. A heated stone? Thanks, OW. My hands." Ingrid chuckled. "My hair's gotten way too long." He turned to Chris. "Mind giving me a trim?" Chris, with his fiery red hair, replied, "Haircuts are 10 coins." Ingrid said 5. Chris countered 8. "Deal." Meanwhile, Reem was still juggling the burning rock. "You could have at least wrapped it in cloth." Ingrid and Chris headed out to cut his hair. "Haircuts are expensive now, huh?" Ingrid said, "No squad discounts." Chris scoffed. "If you don't like it, go to the city barber." "No way," Ingrid replied. "City barbers are the worst." Suddenly, snow started falling. Chris shivered. "Oh great, no wonder I was getting cold." Reem burst out. "It's freezing. Curse this devil's dust." Rajna added, "For once, I agree with you, you idiot." Reem shouted, "This is a test. A test for all of us." Ingrid thought to himself, why are they all out here doing this now? How did that assassin sneak past Border Patrol? And how did those 2 become spies? There has to be someone behind all this, someone on the inside. Ingrid turned to Chris. "Those 3 who died, do you know where they came from?" Chris answered, "Jack, Bo, and Routine." Jack was caught pickpocketing once and served time. Bo insulted a noble or something like that. Reem muttered, "Old friends." Ingrid shook his head. "No." Chris added, "Routine was a failed merchant guild guard. All 3 joined around the same time, about a year ago. Seemed like they worked together in some kind of guild. Ingrid whispered, a guild about a year ago. That's when the Thieves Guild went through a major shift. If they're with the thieves, they'd know every back alley in the city. Definitely potential suspects. Then he turned to Jackson. Do you know anything about the Thieves Guild? Jackson looked surprised. Why are you asking me? Ingrid replied. You seem like someone who knows things. Jackson sighed. Well, after that big shift, even my connections to the Thieves Guild were cut. So no, I don't know much anymore. Chris finished cutting Ingrid's hair. Though honestly, it looked a little strange. Ingrid remarked, the snow's really piling up, huh? Jackson said, Captain, I'm taking the night off. Reem shouted, hey, you sly cat. Don't think you can just dump all the snow clearing on me again this month. Ingrid looked at them both and smirked. All right, how about this? We'll settle it with a mission. If you complete it, no snow duty. Reem said, let's go right now. Jackson added, yeah, I'll come with you too. Then we see Chris, fully geared up with his sword in place, saying, I'm ready to go. Let's move out. Ingrid chuckled. You guys really just didn't want to shovel snow, huh? Reem turned to Rajna. We still need permission from our squad captain. Rajna rolled his eyes. You haven't done that yet? We already got the ship ready. Go, Captain Lazy. Odin added, come on, man. Hurry up and get back here fast. Ingrid thought to himself, these guys only seem to work together in moments like this. Then, Ingrid stood before his commanding officer. She said, your mission is to eliminate the Thieves Guild. They're suspected of helping the assassin who came after you. Ingrid answered, yes, of course. If you permit it, I'll begin immediately. The elven commander gave him a sharp, confident look. She said, you're not just doing this to get out of shoveling snow, are you? You and your squad? Ingrid quickly replied, no, of course not. He thought to himself, quick thinking comes in handy in times like this. We then see Ingrid's team, Unit 4, heading out. Chris asked, you really think we're going to hit the Thieves Guild just like that? You mean the Jelbin Guild, right? Do you have any info on them? Ingrid replied, nope. I'll gather it as we go. Jackson nodded. We'll wait for you at the inn. Go find the Jelbin Guild's hideout. He paused, but how am I supposed to do that? Ingrid smirked. Use your flexible tactics. Chris thought to himself, wait, Jackson had tactics like that. Since when? Jackson straightened up. Got it, Captain. As Jackson walked off, Chris mumbled, honestly, I don't think I'm the weird one here. This whole thing just feels a bit sudden. At Vanessa's inn, they were served pumpkin stew. Chris asked, what if the Jelbin Guild is innocent? Ingrid responded, even if they aren't linked to the assassination attempt, they're still criminals. Taking them down could settle some old scores. Chris hummed, then waved to the waitress. Rice, come here a sec. The waitress walked over and asked what he needed. He whispered something to her in secret, which made Ingrid raise an eyebrow. He thought to himself, Jackson's been gone a while. He's reliable, sure, but starting a mission without solid leads? That's reckless. I actually feel a little bad for him. We cut to Jackson and Eve silently watching something as snow fell heavily. They were positioned perfectly, almost invisible, perched atop rooftops. Jackson narrowed his eyes as he spotted two people walking below. Back at the inn, Ingrid asked Chris, did you know that waitress? Chris smiled, yeah. Her name's Rice. Her dad was a shoemaker. She dreams of opening her own inn in the capital. Ingrid teased, you sure know a lot about her. Chris grinned. Pretty girls are future customers, after all. Just then, Jackson opened the door, covered in snow and clearly worn out from the cold. He saw the others warm and cozy inside, eating comfortably. His face said it all. Ingrid waved him over. Come eat, Jackson. But Jackson replied, no time. We got work to do. Reem groaned. I really don't want to go out. It's freezing. Jackson snapped. Then I'll warm you up with your own blood. It'll be plenty warm. Trust me. Ingrid sighed. Even though I want to go now, the heavy snowfall is really slowing us down. He noticed Jackson and Reem getting ready like they were about to bathe each other in blood. So he added, let's be cautious. We'll move out once the snow stops. They waited for a while, but when Ingrid looked out the window, he saw that the snow showed no signs of stopping. All right, he said, let's go. This snow's not letting up. Chris agreed. Yeah, and waiting won't change anything. Let's move. Ingrid nodded. We've been cautious long enough. They set off on their mission. Reem muttered, ugh, it's freezing. Staying at the inn would have been way better. They walked past some homeless-looking people, who suddenly pulled out daggers and ambushed the group. Reem spun around with incredible speed, slicing the first attacker's head clean off. Then he punched the second one square in the face. Chris asked, "An ambush like that? Dirty tricks. You think they're part of the Grey Dogs?" Ingrid responded, "They could be from the Jelbin Guild." Jackson pointed down a side road. "This leads to their hideout. Those vagrants were guarding the entrance." They spotted a door set into the ground. Jackson stepped up, but the doors shut tight. Odin said, "Hang on, I'll knock the proper way." He pounded once, and with one strike, he shattered the door open. "After you," Odin said, stepping aside. Reem scolded, "You don't know what knocking even means, do you?" Ingrid shrugged. "Hey, door's open. Let's go." They walked through the gate that looked like a massive jaw. Reem asked, "Captain, what's the first thing you're going to say when we meet them?" Ingrid replied, "We'll talk later. First, we strike hard." Meanwhile, we see Gilbert's gang sitting around. One of them asked, "Are you sure the team captain is coming?" Another replied, "Yeah, the intel guy confirmed it." The first one muttered, "It was hard enough to report that the assassination failed. If I just killed him myself, it would have been way easier." They sat, waiting and ready for Ingrid's squad to arrive. A bald man said, "I'm not sure, but it said his whole squad's coming too." The first man scoffed, "So what? Just a bunch of worthless followers." But before he could finish, boom, the door burst open, blown to pieces. And a voice echoed, "Knock, knock. Guess who?" The men were stunned. Ingrid stepped forward. "Someone who's never killed the weak. Someone who walks into a lion's den without blinking. Drop your weapons and cross that line quietly, or get ready to die." Reem whispered, "Captain, weren't you the one who said we should try to negotiate first?" Ingrid smirked. "I changed my mind." He thought to himself, that was quite the entrance, right? He pointed at one of them. "You pathetic thug. You think we're just a joke to you?" The thug replied, "Look at their eyes, possessed by demons. They won't listen unless we show them who we really are." Ingrid asked, "Then let's show them. Tell me, who's the strongest fighter in Gilbert's gang?" The man grinned. "This is going to be fun. The strongest duelist we have is Wyvern. Take him on." Wyvern unsheathed his blade. "As you wish." He stepped forward confidently. "Can you even block my sword? I've never lost a duel. Not once since I was a kid." He lunged straight at Ingrid with a powerful strike. But with a single effortless motion, Ingrid knocked his sword flying and stabbed him clean in the shoulder. A mercenary's blade, aimed true. "So this is your level." Another man nearby tensed up, stunned at what he just saw. Ingrid continued, "If this is your best, then the rest of you aren't worth my time. This is your last chance. Cross the line or die." One of the soldiers whispered, "Is he just trying to act cool or what?" Suddenly, one man threw his weapon to the ground. "I surrender," he started to say. But before he could finish, one of the gang members rushed at him, screaming, "You coward! How dare you surrender?" He raised his sword, aiming to cut him down. But then, THWIP, a whistling dagger flew into his skull. Ingrid had thrown it. Reem sighed. "I thought he put up more of a fight. That was disappointing." The rest of the squad cheered. Jackson grinned. "Now, that was worth watching." But Reem and Ragna just looked bummed. No fight for them today. Then Gilbert's gang all dropped their weapons. "We surrender. Please, spare us." Reem turned to Ingrid. "So what now? To avoid future problems, maybe we should just kill them all." One of the bald men begged, "Please. Some of us have sick mothers. Others are just trying to survive." Ingrid replied, "Just because your life is hard doesn't mean your crimes are forgiven." The bald man dropped to his knees. "If you're going to kill someone, kill me. I'm Gilbert." Ingrid's eyes narrowed. "You're saying you're Gilbert? The leader of the Thieves Guild? But wasn't that guy who died from the Whispering Dagger your boss?" "No," the man replied. "He was the leader, yes, but I'm Gilbert." Ingrid was caught off guard. Chris explained, "The gang's named after one of the underlings on purpose. That way, if the army catches them, they'll hand over the scapegoat while the real boss escapes." Jelbin spoke up, "That guy's just a pawn. Even if you capture him, the guild members aren't dangerous. But if someone really has to die here, please, let be me." His comrades jumped in, shouting, "Jelbin takes care of his sick mother. He's always been kind to us." Reem looked at Ingrid. "After all that, are you really going to kill him? I've never seen you like this before. You're just a demon, aren't you?" Ingrid replied coldly, "Weren't you the one who suggested I kill him?" Jelbin pleaded, "The guild's treasure. It's yours if you save us. Every last coin." Chris chuckled from behind. Jelbin added, "There's a lot stored in the vault. But the key, it's with the boss. The dead one. Before he could finish, Odin simply ripped the vault door off its hinges. You could take whatever you want, Jelbin offered. Chris grinned wide. Reem found a thick, warm pelt and wrapped himself in it. Ingrid's eyes landed on a tough but flexible leather armor. This one's mine, he said. Chris turned to him. Captain, what if we take over the guild ourselves? Ingrid raised an eyebrow. You want me to become a thief, Chris? Chris smirked. Thieves don't kill people, right? Besides, even if we destroy this guild, another will rise within a month. That's why we keep Jelbin as the figurehead, and the real power stays with us. Ingrid thought, Chris is sharp, like we planned this from the start. Was he already thinking that back then? His mind flashed back to when Chris was chatting with the barmaid. You leaked the info to her, didn't you? Ingrid asked. No wonder the thieves were all gathered here. Chris chuckled. Caught that, huh? But thanks to that, we cleaned house in one go. If you allow it, Captain, we'll get a monthly cut, and I'll keep feeding us intel. Ingrid replied, I'm not greedy, but money sure makes things easier when you've got enough of it. All right, Chris. Go ahead. Chris nodded. You hear that, Jelbin? From now on, this is a thieves' guild that doesn't kill. We'll round up the real criminals, toss them in prison, and rebuild everything step by step. But if we don't disband, Jelbin warned, we'll all be killed. Chris blinked. What? The former boss had a contract with Aspen. Every spring and fall, someone from Aspen inspects the guild. If they notice anything's changed, that maniac will slaughter us all. Chris smirked. A crazed monster, huh? Then we're just the right ones to deal with him. Ingrid said, grab whatever you need, Reem. Let's get back. Reem looked at him thoughtfully. Captain, he asked, do you think they've cleared all the snow yet? Ingrid was stunned and glanced out the window. Reem added, I've got something I need to do. What about you guys? Jackson replied, yeah, something I gotta finish. I'll head out tomorrow morning. Ingrid sighed. You guys are always busy. They all flopped down on the floor and fell asleep together. The next day arrived. Ingrid stood before his commander and reported, We've returned. We located the Thieves' Guild. She raised an eyebrow. You only returned late because you didn't want to shovel snow, huh? Ingrid replied, That's not true at all. She smirked. They say you never turn down a duel, don't they? Ingrid chuckled. That's true. Perfect, she said, drawing her sword. Let's spar. Ingrid raised his blade and smiled. With pleasure. Is this a duel or punishment? She's not mad, is she? She lunged at him with such speed, Ingrid couldn't react. He collapsed instantly. Get up, she ordered. He scrambled to grab his weapon, but she kicked it away and struck him again. Was her blade always this graceful, like a whisper? Ingrid wondered as he hit the ground. Over and over, he fell again and again, struggling to defend himself without a sword. The commander watched in silence. Sometimes, he reacts as if he sees the future, she thought. Other times, he can't even see one step ahead. Clumsy, unpredictable, but undeniably, he shattered the curse. She looked up. Snow's falling again. I'll be watching you from now on. Ingrid thought to himself. So that's what it was all about in the end. What a shame. I trained hard with the sword, but never truly learned how to use my body, how to fight with martial arts. What I lacked was total body control, knowing how to use my hands, legs, and every muscle together. That's what real combat arts are all about. Then Odin appeared, casually carrying an entire tree on his shoulder. Basic martial arts stuff, he grinned. You train your body, and it gets stronger, man. Ingrid stared in disbelief. You ripped that out of the ground. Odin chuckled. I've got an idea for a new style, one I call isolation training. It's gonna hurt like hell. Imagine dying twice. Ingrid smiled. Now that sounds like my specialty. We see Ingrid now, lifting massive boulders, pushing his body to the limit. I'm dying here, he shouts. Odin called out, isolation training is about exhaustion. Muscles grow stronger as they tear and rebuild. Ingrid was in pure agony, every fiber of his body screaming. Can you hold that for 10 seconds? Odin asked. I know what our captain is capable of. Ingrid grunted. You don't know anything. Odin asked. Don't you regret not learning this sooner? To master true martial arts, you've got to condition your body properly. Even starting a little earlier would have helped. Ingrid shook his head. I don't have time for regrets. The past is the past, he thought. I have to focus on the now. Otherwise, I'd still be stuck on that first day. Stop talking and teach me the next move already, Ingrid snapped. What will Ingrid learn next from Odin? What deadly techniques await him? All this and more in the next episode of Ingrid, Night of the End. And that's the end of part 9. But trust me, this is just the calm before the storm. If you're ready for the next insane chapter, smash that like button, drop your wildest predictions in the comments, and stay locked in. Because part 10 is going to be next level. Stay legendary, and I'll see you there.